Hello everyone, I'm here to present a term project and our topic is feature extraction. Firstly, I would like to thank Professor Changshu for the way he organized the entire course with his informative lectures and the challenging projects, mini projects that he gave us on a regular interval, which helped us learn the tool Quartus. And we'll be using Quartus as a tool to present our code as well. Uh, so I'll start explaining how we implemented the entire thing on Quartus. Firstly, we need to make a new project. You need to select the directory. So I've selected my directory E278. Then you need to give the name for this project. I will be giving it as hardware QSys. This name should be same as the name that we will be using when we make hardware in QSys. Uh, the top level design name should be the same. So we need to remember that name. We have no files to be included as of now. Then we need to select Cyclone 2 over here. Package FPGA 484 and speed grade 7. This is the device that we select. As we are using Verilog SDL, you need to select that. After this, the next step would be to go into QSys. Now in our project, we have made use of four functions. They are function multiply, function for addition, then there's a function to find out the largest difference value, and there's another function to find the current pixel value. So we need to make separate components for them. So for that, we need to go to new component. Here you need to give the name for the component and the display name. I'll be keeping it the same. I like to keep all my components in one group. So you could give a component name. Then here we need to add the file and analyze it if it's working correctly. So here you click analyze synthesis file. We have no errors, so we could proceed ahead. If you have any parameters in the file, it would be represented over here. So we could make it parameterized, but we haven't done that. These are the signals that we have made the connections. Over here, we need to set the reset over here. And as you can see, there's no errors left. We could just finish this. And save. And here you can see it has created a function. Now let's move on and make the next function. This is a function for addition. And I'll keep it in the same group. We need to analyze this file again. So and analyze. No warnings, that's great. And here again we need to put this to reset and finish. This is a repetitive step, like we have used four functions, so I'll have to make four components. the final component. We need to include all these components later on in our design. Here you can see the hardware components have been created with the .tcl extension. In the same way, it will be created for the multiplication function as well. Yeah. So we'll be using C code as well, through which we are calling these functions in Verilog. So we need to include Neos processor. We'll be using the economical version over here. Hit finish. Then on-chip memory. JTAG UART port. There's no changes to be done in all these. And the performance counter. The performance counter would indicate how many cycles have been taken to execute the entire thing. So we included performance counter. Now we could include the functions that we have created as our own components. All of these components will have clock in common, so we need to connect that. Clock reset. And there are a lot of errors that you can see below. This is simply because we haven't made any of the connections and we haven't assigned them their base addresses. As you see, I make every connection, the error count is going down. So here we are giving clock to all the components. Now let's give reset. And the data would go all to all the components as well. So we need to give data. And the instruction master would only be connected to the on-chip memory, as we'll be taking the instructions from the on-chip memory. Here we connect the interrupts pin. And let's now initialize the base addresses. We are left with two errors. This is because we need to make some changes in Neos QSys. The reset vector memory would be assigned to the on-chip memory. We have no errors left now. Now we can generate our Verilog files. We haven't saved it. And as I had mentioned earlier, we need to give the same name over here. Here you can see that there are no warnings. So we have successfully created the Verilog files. Now we need to include all of this into a Quartus. Here we go into files. It will be in the hardware QSys folder. The submodules contains all the Verilog files, but instead of including all of them It's an easier way to include the QIP file. Here you see we have the QIP file. We add it. Now the only input that is going to the FPGA is clock. So we need to assign the clock pin over here. 3.3. We need to save this. After doing the assignment from the assignment editor, we could compile the file. On successful compilation, we can then dump onto a board. For that, we need to go into Programmer. If somebody has not installed USB Blaster, we need to like download the driver and then install it and make changes in a control panel to have it. I've already done that, so it should work. We need to wait till the entire compilation is done. It will take a while for the entire compilation to be done. So we have no errors and a few warnings. That is okay. So we go into the Programmer. Here you can add the file. It makes a SOF file. We need to include that. Select it and we hit start. And we have successfully burnt it onto our board. We save it. The next step would be to go into NEOS and try to put a C code in that and run it on a hardware. So let's go into NEOS. We select our work directory. Now let's make a folder for our software over here. So we go here. Okay. So we make a new BSP template over here. Now we need to include our SOPC info file over here. Here you can see our SOPC info file has been created. Oh, I'm sorry. That is something that I've worked on previously. So here's the SOPC file that we created recently in the E278 folder. We now need to give it a name. So we'll name it as software neos. And here you can see the folder that we created, software, and it's inside that. We select hello world small and we click finish. It would create the templates over there. We'll first try running the hello world program that is a hardware responding to it and giving us the output. And if it does, then we could try running a C code onto it. So here you can see it's the hello world code over here. So if we have made the connections and everything correctly, if the hardware has been built properly onto the board, we'll get an output from the board saying that hello from Neos. So we first need to build the project, and after building the project we need to run it as a hardware. So we have successfully built the project. You can see run as Neos to hardware. And yes, we get the output from Neos. Hello from Neos 2. Here you can see here's my code. So we'll try building this code. So there are no errors. Now we could try running this at hardware. And we click yes. And here we get the number of cycles that it takes to run the entire code. We ran the code previously just as software, just with the C code, and after including the hardware accelerator files, we got a performance improvement of like initially we were getting around like 3 lakh cycles, but now we're getting around 1,60,000 cycles. So that's the improvement that we got, and we have explained the entire algorithm in our report. I would again like to thank Professor Chanchu for giving us an opportunity to present ourselves on YouTube. Thank you, and that's it.